Basketball days, I played at Cleveland High School and Jefferson High School, so I played those 4 years, and after that, ended up going to college. I played at 4 different colleges: College of the Desert, Clark College in Vancouver, Belmont Abbey College in North Carolina, and then finished here at Cascade College in NA High School. As far as playing, that's what I did. That's what I really wanted to do once I got out of college, but things didn't happen in that manner, and so I went into coaching. That was the next best thing. I have developed relationships from when I began playing basketball from middle school to high school into where I am now. You know, I like the behind the scenes thing. I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I like to kind of, and doing lonely work is what I call it, where we're in here working, not too many people are aware of what's going on, and then they go out into their high school games or into college, and then you're seeing this kind of finished product. And this is my passion. I love basketball. I've always loved it since the first day I started playing, and so this is more or less me just kind of passing on things that I've learned and my joy and passion for the game. And hopefully I can help kind of ignite somebody to take their game to the next level.
Just come and support, see the upcoming stars from Oregon. Good friends with Kumbeno Memory, just supporting the program. After my first day at the workouts, I knew that was the right spot for me to get better. It was just there's the right things I need to do. He teaches the right things to teach you other things than just scoring the basketball and shooting. He teaches you how to play the game, and he's real smart.
Whether it be footwork, shooting, handling the ball, whether that's catching, shooting, or passing, I think I can help players get better. I have an eye to see what they need to work on and then giving them that information. But it ultimately boils down to what if they put the work in on their own. When I first started doing training stuff, I ran it out of the Portland Athletic Club, and guys I've worked with then were Kevin Green, Dominic Waters, Ian Anderson. So these were guys who were in high school at the time and ended up being pretty good players as they got older. So that's kind of some of the guys that I started with, and then now dealing with a guy like Mike Moser. You know, I began working with him as a freshman, and yeah, obviously you see the length, the athletic ability, and the talent, but it was more so we need to make you a smart basketball player. And I think if you can add that together, there's a million guys running around that are long that can jump and dunk, but are there many guys that can play the game with your talents and abilities? And so just teaching them to play the game of basketball. So obviously you got to get your left hand better, your right hand. You got to be able to shoot the ball consistently. You got to be able to see when guys are open, make the right play, take care of the ball. So a bunch of different things like that. He's still got a ways to go, I think, but I think he's on the right path.
Kumbeno's helped me so much. I think I've worked with him for about 4 years now, since about the 8th grade. I mean, he just helped me improve my game so much, opened so many doors for me, and showed me a lot of things, from ball handling to shooting to just how you carry yourself. I mean, everything.
In between my junior and senior year of college, were able to have access to go to the Portland Trail Blazers practice facility. So go out there and work out, play with the guys, and so going and being around them, then you start to get to know some of the coaches out there.
I actually met Kumbeno through Ime. When Ime was playing at Portland State, Ime and Kumbeno have been friends for a long time, so they just kind of hung out together. And Ime used to work out with us at the Blazers facility, and he kind of brought Beno along.
Beno's my best friend. You know, grew up with him, playing with him, working out, and went to high school together. The main guy I worked out with my whole life. We had similar goals, and someone like him helped me get to where I'm at by pushing me, and someone I could go work out with every day, all day.
The month of September, our players would scrimmage at the practice facility. So there would be college players from Portland State, Ime, and a bunch of his guys, and some guys from the University of Portland and Oregon State and Oregon as well. And Kumbeno would come in and play with those guys. Well, he got to a point where he had stopped playing and he wanted to get involved in coaching.
When I went into coaching, I just started picking their brains. I would go out to the practice facility and sit out there for an hour, 2 hours, and just taking down notes. The guys would give me videos, just different things to help me get better at coaching and teaching. I always looked at things from a player's point of view, and so I think that definitely helps, but being a coach is kind of a different realm, and so I had to kind of piece both of those together, and those guys helped out a lot with that.
He started working with a lot of the young kids, the younger players, and kind of started helping out our guys as well. So he's done a little bit of everything. He's worked with professional guys, from high school guys, everything. He's just got a great feel for kids. He really cares about them, and he does a great job.
Initially on, it just was all about training, and then as I started getting to train some of the better players, it kind of evolved into training them and then helping them get into college or manage their recruiting. And so I kind of began to do a little bit of that, and then to me, obviously, the next step was, if I'm kind of doing two of these components, add the exposure part with an AAU basketball team. So here I can train them, I can expose them, and then also help them kind of tie the high school and the college piece together and help them get into college. I've known Ime since I was 14 years old, our freshman year in high school. We started seeing that we loved basketball so much, and that kind of was what tied us together. And I mean, that's been my best friend since then. And so, you know, obviously he got into the NBA and had an opportunity to get a Nike endorsement deal. And when he got that, they put in kind of a piece to say, hey, if you wanted to do an AAU team, you have the freedom to do that.
I sponsor the team, and he's a head coach, so it's something we both wanted to do for a while. We had the opportunity to do it, help him out and help out some kids.
The main thing was passing on the things we had learned in high school, work ethic, being determined, fighting through perseverance, fighting through adversity, and being able to take things to the next level. And so we try to tie that into the team. We want to kind of change the AAU perception, you know, that there's just anybody can coach it. We wanted to treat it as if this was Jefferson High School or Cleveland High School, an actual real basketball team. You know, you're mandatory, you need to come to practice. We need to have you here. We're not going to deal with attitudes. We're not going to deal with you coming to practice and then maybe playing with this other team or whatever. So we wanted to bring structure to the AAU field, and we've somewhat done that. I think it's still kind of rocky road sometimes, but we just try to pass on the things we learned as players coming up, and that was part of the reason why we've helped Ime's help sponsor it and give guys some help, you know, financially to help be able to play with us as well. This is something that when I started, I drew out a bunch of goals, and now kind of about 7 years later, things are really beginning to happen, stuff that I diagrammed and put on paper 7 years ago. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I have a lot of freedom to do, and I can somewhat stay behind scenes, but I think the more stuff like this keep happening, my name will get out there and whatnot. But I enjoy doing the training piece. I don't know if I'll ever coach for a high school. You know, maybe come in and do something just to help out, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Perfect world, I'd like to be coaching in the NBA.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.